We open on a familiar scene. A finger, thin figure with fingers that dance across keys like a pianist. And to a certain type of person, the sounds produced are probably somewhat like music, would they have been there to hear it. The pile of papers off to the right of him is rather tall now. Um, the hallmark of a possibly overly verbose and prolific writer who just keeps going and who uh, very patient editors are a godsend, at least when it comes to book sales. The words fly across the page, but the ink isn't the black that we're used to. The ink is crimson and a little runny, although it never goes so far as to ruin any of the letters above, below, or beside it. The breathing is harsh, labored, like somebody has run a marathon and isn't done yet, but desperately wishes they were. That horrible, almost inhuman creaking fills the room again. Wood shifts as though it were breathing, or as though something of epic scale is leaning against it and breathing. The head lifts, that wild hair shifting slightly to gaze out a window. A manic smile spreads across the face lined with experiences that normal people should never know. Not that they always get a choice. But for a moment, just a moment, the fingers pause on the keys again. And he says, yes, they're here. And the curtain drops. Welcome to The Printer's Devil, a little Lovecraftian, horror inspired story with my three lovely actors here. Um, each an integral piece of the story for as long as they have left in the story. We're going to go ahead and start the introduction hot potato with Janet.
Hi, hello. I'm Janet on this server Discord community, but I'm have Janice as Anime James, where I'm streaming and uploading videos. In this game, I play as Dr. Sophie, who I hope survive, and I'm playing also game on Friday, Shadowrun. And now I sent to, to Sarah.
Oh, I got myself on that one. Hey, y'all. My name is Sarah. I go by Sant on the Discord. I am here 5.5 nights a week. Six? No, it was 5.5, right? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'm here too many. I'm here tonight as Juliet Morningstar. Let's see if she survives. Uh, Tuesday in our Cyberpunk Red Carnage Heights, I play Hecate. Why do I want to date the people who shoot me? Wednesday, Mask Oracle Force game, I play Nightwish. How am I still the leader? Uh, Thursday, our City of Mist campaign, Deviant Paradox. I am the DM for that chaos. And on Sunday, 7th Sea Shadow of the Walkroom game, I play Rosa Nix. Why can't my grandma just stay out of my life? Passing it back over to our channel father.
Ooh, Channel Daddy, that's me. My name is Kevin, and all the other things that they call me because they're all wonderful. Um, let's talk about we got shows that pretty much every friggin' day now. So let's talk about the new one that's going to fill up the week. We're going to go up to 7 days a week as of this Friday. As many of you know from the past that have watched this channel before, I am a huge fan of William Gibson, the cyberpunk writer. I love Grandma. Ooh, that's a new one. Where am I going to get that tattooed? What are you going to have to buy me before you see that tattooed on me? Uh, mm, but let's go back to this. Starting on Friday, it's a William Gibson inspired Shadowrun game called Idolatry. It's going to run my standard sort of 10 to 12 weeks, and we are going to put Shadowrun in Vancouver and in a as one of our players found out after doing much research on the lore, in a non lore based world. So tune in on Friday, and we will start the Shadowrun of all Shadowruns. And now, over to Red Leader 1. Back, Kyle. Drop the torpedo, man. Use the Schwartz.
May the Schwartz be with you. Hello, folks. I am Bat Kyle. You can find me here at least tonight, possibly one more night. It really depends on how things go as the editor of our fun little story here. You can find me on Sundays playing Len. You know, maybe Grandma isn't all that bad, Austin. But you know that's probably just post-coital bliss talking. You can find me on Discord posting unhinged food memes and being a menace. You can find me in pretty much every other game that's going on through the week in the Twitch chat, trying to break people and generally being a menace. Or you can find me modding for 2 or 3 people at the same time and bullying them all on Twitch somewhere. And without further ado, back to the story. When we last left, after a rather trippy experience for Juliet, we have somehow finally arrived in Hobbsfield. Narrowly avoid hitting a dog, but not avoiding hitting a kid, who is also an old man. But that's for another time. Or is it? Either way, Juliet no longer wants to drive. Explained where the mark on the front of Dr. Sophie's car came from, which was that kid. And the most obvious place for everybody to go would probably be the Hilltop Hotel, with the rather derelict but probably once quite beautiful greenhouse out near it. It is a beautiful day out here. It wasn't that nice when you were driving through all the fields and everything. It was dark, it was gloomy, it was kind of humid, but here it is a perfect coastal town day. The temperature is in the mid 70s. You've got that salt breeze from the ocean that carries a little hint of chill and just a bit of fishiness and such, but you'll get that, not overpowering. The sun is out, there aren't many clouds. You can see the town off to the right of you. There's the little pseudo roundabout that you're in. Heads toward the town. Ahead of you is the hotel, and off to the left of you, it looks like heads down to a fairly defunct wharf, although it looks like there may be some still functional boats out there that way. Behind you, of course, is the covered bridge that you entered through, and you can see the road go back and curve around behind some trees. But you can't really see past the trees. You don't hear any sounds of cars, either from that direction or in town. And if you watch the town for a little bit, you don't see any movement in it, for all that it looks rather idyllic. Like nicely painted little storefronts along the main road. Houses off in the distance among the fields.
What's the time of day?
Yeah. We are
Your
even-
watches don't really seem
Does it?
to
Yeah.
agree at this point. But if you look at the sun, it seems probably about a little past high noon. I think it's going to start heading towards the
Hotel.
afternoon and darkness.
I will go to hotel.
Yeah. See, I think Dr.
Juliet-
Sophie took over to driving, right? Because Juliet doesn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Juliet, what?
Did Juliet knows from the books that this town is pretty much abandoned, right?
Yes.
Okay. Then yeah, this isn't weird at all. This makes complete sense. It's an abandoned town.
Then I will go to hotel.
Okay. You will head to the hotel. And it's not that far a drive, maybe another 5 minutes or so, and that's mostly because the hill it's on, the road is kind of windy to get up there. But when you do, you see no signs of any other cars. Definitely does not look like this is the massive tourist attraction that you would think the town from the famous series of books would be. But the hotel looks like it's still open. There's even a little sign that says "Come in, we're open" on the front door. And if you look at the roll 20, here, let me swoop over to there. I actually got a little picture of the hotel itself. It's not in the best condition. Looks like in its heyday it was pretty nice, but you can see vines crawling up the walls. Some of the windows have actually been fully bricked over, but there are also some rather old and drippy AC units sticking out of some of the windows.
I will
Is
come.
this the front door or is this the front door?
The front door is actually over here.
Oh, yay.
You come up basically around the place and drive up to there to check in and such, and then you get to do kind of a precarious backing out to get back down to where to park your car, unless you want to carry all your luggage from the parking spaces.
I think all the luggage that Mike has is his
Hey.
backpack with axe
Yeah.
and his vest. So yeah, he's also.
Yeah.
I'm. It's finally time for Mike to do his thing. He pops up in the back of the car and just starts carrying stuff.
I will ask at hotel staff if I can use public phone because some hotels had phones.
Oh, there's nobody at the front desk when you go in. It's much nicer inside than it was outside. Like if there has been attempts to do upkeep, it has been entirely on the interior. It's a lot of that old, dark, varnished and well polished wood. It's got the thick pseudo-oriental patterned rugs
Yeah.
all over. There are pictures on the wall. Juliet, are you going in with Dr. Sophie? Are you helping with with luggage? What do you?
And to be clear, I'm just taking stuff
Um,
out of the car and putting it on the ground because we don't have a room yet. I'm not carrying it
Okay.
all to the lobby and then carrying it all to the room. I'm just getting it all out of the
Okay.
car.
she'll go in with Dr. Jackson.
Okay.
I would use bell on desk a few times.
Yep. Ding, ding, ding. And you hear
Yes.
from deep in the back a rather decrepit old woman voice. The sort of whip thin, down to skin and bones kind of old lady. I'll be there in a moment. I can't move as well as I used to. And while you're waiting for her to shuffle, and you can hear the sounds of her approaching the desk, Juliet, give me a debunking roll.
That's a D10.
Yep, 6 or less.
Got a 6.
Okay. You notice on the wall behind you, as you're just kind of waiting and looking around, a painting that was referenced in one of the printer's devil or one of the books in the series in the behind the mirrors, the same one that the hotel itself was depicted in. It's a rather famous pastoral scene with a Edwardian era gentleman and a woman with a parasol and the bustle and the whole pastel dress, and there's a pond and some trees and people having little picnics and such. And the couple waves at you.
Yep.
They don't look like
okay.
flesh and blood. They just
Yep. She kind of. Yeah. Juliet nods back and just kind of turns back around to give them their privacy.
very kind of you.
Um.
I want to use investigation to.
She
Okay.
Juliet is acting like, yeah, this is how it's supposed to be, right?
Now, are you
And
using
meanwhile,
deductive
Sophie's going over
reasoning?
the counter,
Yep.
nothing for
Like,
Prince.
give me the phone. Where were you on the night of September 27th? If you want to try and figure out if something is wrong with Juliet, I would say give me a reading people roll.
Alright.
A 2.
Okay. You can tell that Juliet is very much trying to hold on to the mask that everything is okay and nothing is going wrong here. Something
would-
has already just given her another Wiggins.
I would grab Juliet at shoulder or arm and say, "What's wrong with you? Tell me," and not hide it.
I'm going to apologize now to you, Janet. Juliet's about to lose it. We're just we're just characters in a book. We just need to follow what's supposed to happen. And I don't know. I don't know. I don't fucking know anymore. I just
And-
don't fucking.
And Sophie will say, "What happened with that logical Juliet who debunking everything in logic?"
There. I watched a man accordion himself out from under your car. How am I supposed to debunk that?
I don't know, hologram, for example, or a robot.
We are in the book. I can't guarantee that we're going to escape. I can't even guarantee to how this is going to end. Because I don't know how it's going to end. I just know if we follow the book, maybe we'll at least be a little bit okay.
Just take the brief. It was hard journey. We need to rest in this hotel and figure out what's going on.
He has us trapped in the book. And he's watching us.
Who's watching us, dearie? The little old lady pops up
Nice
behind the
timing.
counter. Nobody should be watching us here. There aren't that many people. I mean, you are the new people who came into town, so if somebody's watching you, it's more than just kind of bored and it's something new. Now, do you need rooms for the night?
3 rooms. And I can use phone.
You can try. I think something happened to the lines going out of town. We don't always get great service out here, but she picks up one of those old timey that's got like a round ebony base with the little actual click 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 click
Yeah.
click click.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't remember
Sophia,
with
and
the
Sophia-
brass
and Sophia
thing.
think,
It's very baroque.
and Sophia think this gonna be fun. And she try to call boss to tell him we arrived in this town from book.
Okay. You dial in the number and you actually hear the little click 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 click. And after a few rings, it picks up and you hear Jake's voice. Hello?
Guy,
Hello?
we arrived at this town from book, and Sophie's yelling because she knew that these phones you had to yell.
Is he listens for a moment and then he's like, is this some kind of joke? Sophie, Juliet, and Mike vanished 4 weeks ago. And now you're saying that you're Sophie and you're in the town from the. I do not
Yes,
appreciate this kind of prank.
it's
Those
not
people
prank.
did not deserve to
It's
vanish.
it's not prank. We just had a long way to this town, and weird stuff happening during way. We arrive in this town.
You're
So
alive in a town that doesn't exist.
yes,
Nobody has been able to find it. I sent people out to look for them. You know what? I'm not even entertaining this anymore. Do not call me again. This is sick. You are a sick person. Click.
and she is like sad, like, "Ugh," and think like, if we have, if, if we have even a way to return, if it's even a good idea to return at this point. But she don't tell anything because she don't want even more mixed situation but with Juliet. She just grab Mike before in coming
Okay.
to Lopi and tell him
Okay.
about phone.
You'd have to come outside to the car, but yeah, I totally agree.
And-
Normally,
Yes.
I'm all about sharing the information, but Juliet does not need to hear that right now.
Yeah. And she gives you three keys, each one the old brass style with the old sort of square
Plastic thing
teeth
with a
and
number
the
on
little
it.
like yeah, it's like almost lozenge shaped tag,
Yep.
actually wood with a somewhat faded gold leaf number on each one, and your rooms are 12A, 12B, and 12C on the second level of the hotel.
I will grab Mike and whisper him, come to my room. I need to talk with you.
Okay, I'll bring your stuff up in a minute, eh?
Alright,
Which one are
but
you
be
in?
quick.
And I pointed A, B, or C.
20B.
You're in B.
12,
Okay.
12B.
Oh, B.
It was 12A, B, and C.
12B I want.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'll be there right after I. Where's Juliet? Eh?
She's here, and I point out in a lobby. She
Yeah.
crying
Yeah.
and sitting in corner.
Yeah, Juliet, what are you doing? And you were left in the lobby, so.
Following what the book characters would do,
Yep.
she looks to the woman running the inn and, so, where should we get some food at?
Well, our kitchen doesn't do very well anymore. It suffices for me and my husband, but you can try the only place that really does anything food related anymore is the bar in town. I mean, they mostly do bar food, a lot of, battered fish and chips and things like that, but it's the Fisherman's Sorrow. You can't miss it. If you want just like crackers and jerky and such, we have a little. I can't even call it a general store anymore, but they do. Um, we still do occasionally get people through and get stuff in, so they can help you with some essentials if you need, but don't expect it to be like a one of your fancy chain grocery stores.
The Fisherman's Sorrow. Thank you very much. As she goes,
Welcome, dearie. Sleep
uh,
tight.
as she goes out and to Mike and Sophie. We should go to the Fisherman's Sorrow for food.
All right, but first I want my stuff in my room, not on here parking around, and then I go to this fisherman sorrow.
You head
Give us
upstairs.
moment.
Yeah. So I turned to Juliet and so you want A or C, eh?
Which one is closer to an exit?
That would be A. It's the corner room, but it's right by the stairs to get down.
She takes A.
Yeah, okay, so I think she's got the keys, so let's go upstairs first, and then yeah, I could use the lunch. I wonder why everything in this town's named after somebody something, eh? I mean, the town is Hobbs Field. The place is called Fisherman's Sorrow. Everything's named after something something.
Well, there's not a lot to do in a small town.
But it's a very sort of New Englandy kind of thing to do.
Yeah, and I would later ask about this lady from hotel about Zane, if she know anything, cause she's so old here.
Okay.
Give me another reading people roll, if you would.
4.
Okay, yeah, you notice she has a faint hesitation, and almost like she's startled that you actually said the name, possibly even a little afraid. Like she goes, Zane? I don't know anybody by that name, dearie.
Why so afraid? Kids
No,
won't be here and kill us.
kill us? You're looking for somebody who might kill us?
No, it was just joke. I want to know if anything, because you seem like afraid of that Zane.
I don't know any Zane to be afraid of him. If you excuse me, I need to get back to work.
Alright. And I will go to my room and grab Mike and pull him to my room to talk with him.
I think by the time you get back up there, I'd probably have had time to get Juliet's stuff up to her room. So there's because I think Sophie's still got all the keys. So Juliet's stuff is in front of her door, Sophie's stuff in front of her door, and Mike's got his backpack on. So
I
you
give
gave us the keys?
Mike.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So in that case, Juliet, I haul your stuff up. You want it in your room?
Sure.
And I do that thing where I reach just into the room and put it down. Like I don't presume to go into your space. And then Sophie, if you gave me your keys, I would open the door and the same thing, put everything just inside the door, and
And
then
I will-
leave the key on top of the boxes and leave the door open just a little bit.
And I will
And that's
pull
when
you.
yeah. Okay.
And I tell him that about phone that this my boss told us that we vanish for a few weeks and he don't want to hear from us phone calls. And I wonder if we have anything to return to your homes now.
Well, there's one reason I want to go back. I'm going to punch that prick right in the nose. 4 weeks and he gave up on us already, eh? Didn't even send anybody to come and find us?
He thought that any rescue teams vanished too and didn't find this town.
And there's a pause as he sort of looks out the window and tries to see the town again. There could be dozens of people down there, eh?
I don't know, but for now not tell Juliet because she kinda not in mental state good after this night driving an accident.
And you don't have to roll read people on this. Mike is stunned, total disbelief. Not disbelief, just totally stunned that Juliet's had a moment. He didn't see it. He's not doing so well himself. But Like, and he
What
looks
we do?
around and he goes like, or
Yeah.
just like, we're in trouble. Eh?
But I'm curious what we do even if we find anything about Zane or Book when now they give up on us.
Well, just for the look on that asshole's face, I want to take him back, eh? But if I'm completely honest, it's gotten kind of personal, eh? I think Zane killed his wife and his kid, eh?
Yeah, but still, we vanished for a few weeks. We don't have anything to return. We don't even know if we return.
And there's kind of a grin. He says, oh, geez, you never been on the front page of the newspaper before, eh? Missing
No.
detectives gone 12 weeks, return as heroes. Oh, it's great, eh? They take your picture from all sides. They put it all over the newspapers. People buy you drinks and shit. Eh? It's worth it, eh?
Yeah, but what if they don't want any more this manuscript and don't need us?
Oh, they want the manuscript. Don't you ever forget about that. Eh? That manuscript is money. Money, money, money. That's all that they wanted, eh? He
But they
even
told
said the
us,
manuscript's more important than the person, eh? That's the kind
yeah,
of
but
person we work for.
yeah, but they told us they have deadline, and I feel like we are already breaking that deadline with manuscripts.
They'll turn it into a marketing ploy, eh? They'll claim he was kidnapped by aliens and finished it and escaped all by himself, eh?
Eh?
Those people will do anything to sell a book, eh? His
Yeah,
ninth book, right? 9, he did 8 already, right?
yeah,
Nobody
yeah,
writes 9 good books, eh? I mean, don't tell
yeah,
Juliet, but nobody writes 9 good books, eh?
yeah. Alright. For now, maybe we better look around this city in bar. People will know anything because bartenders know a lot secrets. But for now, don't tell about this phone to Juliet because she is really close to get crazy.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I'll be cool. I guess we gotta go for lunch, eh?
Yeah,
You go down by the car. I'll get Juliet. I'll be down in a minute, eh?
alright. And
While they're doing this,
Yes.
I'm sorry. Go
Sophie,
ahead.
I want to refresh from driving,
Oh,
like
Okay.
change
Yeah.
perfect. So yeah, you got
clothing,
even a little more time. So
shower.
she goes to the bathroom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
love it.
Well, yep. Sophie's refreshing. Juliet, when you enter the
Mhm.
room, it also seems very familiar. Like it was the room featured in Behind the Mirrors. Except for there's one weird thing. You're pretty certain at least that out the window over here to your right, you should be seeing a big Gothic cathedral, the kind with the golden, like onion shaped things at the tops of towers and such. A very, stained glass and dark wood, um, very disturbing place. But you don't see that. You just see a lot of trees and what looks like an old farmhouse way off in the distance.
Yeah, she'll bring her stuff in, see that it's not there, and I think this is when she starts to kind of talk herself back off the edge of, okay, so it's not exactly like the books, which means maybe they were wrong, and maybe I'm just having a short lapse insanity. Maybe I just drove for too fucking long.
All right. And nothing jumps out. The rooms are actually nice. The beds are just slightly musty, but not like you can't, sleep in them or anything. They probably need to be turned down and aired out a little bit.
Mike didn't
Uh,
go to his room. Just quick aside. He never went to his room. He just put the key in his pocket. He's got his
okay.
backpack on. He's keeping it on. Yeah.
No, that works for me.
Yeah.
Um,
It remains Schrodinger's room for now.
yes, exactly. but the bathrooms are nice. They've got the old style clawfoot tubs with the brass fittings, the big faucet and everything. Very very old style. And you can see if you look really closely, there are some chips and flaws and everything. But once again, it looks like somebody has expended a lot of time and effort to keep everything inside as nice as possible. And then Mike and Sophie come to collect Juliet.
Yeah, and then I want to drive to town this bar.
Okay. You drive down to the town, and just like it looked from a distance, well, mostly like it looked like at a distance. Up close, you can see that, there may be still nice glass in the windows with hand painted signs for various businesses, but the insides are dark, a little dusty, almost like somebody's working to maintain the facade of the town, but can't actually fill out the various stores and such. The barbershop has one of the classic red and blue spinning, not quite signs, but like the pole that spins around to catch your attention. And you can see inside there are dust covers over the chairs and some dirt on the mirrors inside and such. The only places that seem to show any signs of life are there are a couple cars out in front of what you have to assume is the Sailor's Lament, um, down at the end, and that's really about it. And right across the street appears to be the general store. There's a ye old general store in that twee sort of spelling, the ye old with the e,
Mhm.
store with two e's, which isn't really how it went for the store part of it, but
yeah.
they're doing their best here. When you get
It
out of
looked insufficiently gothic.
exactly. You park in, there's gravel parking spaces out in front of the bar, and as you get out, you hear barking and laughter in the distance, and you can see some children chasing a golden retriever.
I always look at these children and maybe follow them because it's alive, like living people.
Is one of them Adam?
A couple of them look like they could be Adam. There are a couple of young blonde boy children, and some girls with various hair colors, and some of the boys have different hair colors too, some red, black, brown, but there are a couple who, from a distance at least, could definitely easily be Adam. They're not easy to follow though. Like, so they're pretty far away, and they're running and chasing this dog, and they vanish into the woods while still chasing the dog. You could try to catch them, but they're much faster than you know.
I will stay go because it's scattered the children in forest and there's nothing parents. I don't see any adults but children and they run to forest where are dangers. So I went catch them and I was said to my cat, wait for me.
All right, give me just a straight D10 roll and tell me what the result is, please.
10.
You do not catch them. Maybe it's just that you're not used to running through the kind of hilly, grassy area that they were running across. Maybe, it's just been a really long ride and you're feeling a little stiff. But for whatever reason, you cannot catch up to them before they reach the tree line. And once they're in the tree line, you lose all sight of them.
I read on and before stepping inside bar, I took photos of the cement, lament, general store and bar just for memory pictures.
Okay.
And I will record that we are going to bar. Maybe someone knows something. And I will say that after hotel checking, we are going to bar.
Okay.
Do that.
Well,
You look. I see you thinking down
Um,
there. Sorry to jump in, but yeah.
She thinks one of them is Adam. She's not gonna push it just in case she's right. Um, she's just gonna go into the is it Fisherman's Sorrow or Sailor's
Yes,
Lament?
fisherman sorrow.
It says Sailor's Lament when you get there. Yeah. No, I know. She said Fisherman's Sorrow, but
Okay.
it says Sailor's Lament on the sign when you get there.
Okay.
But it looks like what she was describing, and there's no other bar or anything in town.
Yeah, she'll just head in and get a table for them.
Okay. You step into the bar, and it is dark, like most bars tend to be. There is it had big open window with the name of the bar on the front of it, and the remains of, looks like it's one point they had been painting the specials and then wiping it off, then painting new specials and such, but all that's there now is just broken pieces of paint. Or it looks like at some point they stopped and what was there is just worn away. The window inside it looks almost like as if it had been soaped to make it darker, harder to see through, not as much light gets through. It's got a big, almost square horseshoe shaped bar, um, with some gates towards the back of the place and a bunch of stools around it. And then there are like 2 and 4 person tables around the outer sets of the walls. There are a couple of people in the bar. They don't really look up directly at you. They give you that kind of wary side eye, or kind of looking under their brows or whatever when you step in, but nobody says hi, but nobody also is overtly hostile. Most of them are eating a bowl of something. Looks like it could be clam chowder or chowda, depending. um, Behind the bar is a rather large, uh, worn Nordic looking man. He's easily probably in his 60s at this point. He looks like at one point he was, he could have been a linebacker. He has there's still the width of shoulders and such, but a lot of muscle seems to have faded from his arms and chest and moved into a belly that hangs over his belt. He's got a greasy apron and he's cleaning a glass. He looks at you with these faded blue eyes and says, "You should not be here. This isn't a place for tourists."
We were told to come and get food here.
Told? Told by who?
The owner at the inn.
Oh,
And she
Matilda.
proceeds to describe her.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, Matilda, okay. Strange old bird, but if she sent you here, fair enough. Take any table you want. We have, bless you. Well, maybe not here, but we have chowder, cornbread, chili, hamburgers, fries, fish and chips, and Pepsi."
I know exactly why the Pepsi got me.
Yeah. No Coke, Pepsi.
Chibogi, chibogi, chibogi. Yes, exactly. There can be some levity in the horror.
Yeah.
She nods, hearing the menu, and sits, waiting for Mike and Dr. Jackson.
I would like fish and chips and Pepsi because you don't have water, so I want Pepsi.
Don't want to drink the water around here. You can
Why?
brush with it, you can bathe with it, just you don't want to drink it.
Why?
It's just not good. We don't really have a we don't have a good well anymore.
But do you
The
have
water
maybe,
seem
but maybe do you have bottled water? Like small bottled?
Cold water? In the
bottled
Yeah.
80s?
water.
Um,
That really wasn't much of a thing in the
not
80s.
in the
No,
bar, no.
no. That was more like something in an MRE or
You'd
something.
have fizzy water in your bar dispenser, like your mix
Yeah.
dispenser,
Oh, yep.
but
Yeah.
not
He's
regular
like,
water.
we have soda water to go with some drinks. We do have alcohol,
Please
not as much as
check
we
it,
used to. But
Daniels. Please check, Daniels. I need after everything to drink one glass. And so we grab this whiskey and chips and fish and
Oh.
Pepsi.
He hands you the Pepsi and the bottle of Jack and whatever drinks anybody else wants.
Just grab me a Coke and a burger, eh? Cheese and everything. I gotta go to the car for a minute. And I step outside
yep.
because I want to
Takes down
step
the
away.
orders
So
and-
give these guys a scene. I need 2 minutes.
Yeah, no worries. He takes down the order and looks at Juliet.
Please.
I'm sorry, you cut out in the order. I just heard, please.
The chowder, please, and a Pepsi.
Cheddar and Pepsi. Okay. And he steps in back to get the order, and while he does, you don't even need to give make a roll to tell that the people here are both beaten down and very on edge.
I would
Don't.
eat like nothing.
Well, the food's not there yet. They have to cook it and such first. This is a little chance to. I'm just giving you some exposition on the people and such before they, deep fry your food and bring out all that greasy goodness. Um, I said you're getting looks from the few locals who are eating. They all look a little malnourished, like they're living off of things, but they're definitely not getting all of their vitamins and nutrients from the food here. Some of them have kind of a red rim to their eyes, like they have been crying recently, or there's been a lot of smoke or something. They all just have a very just a very deep sense of ennui. Like you can feel it in the air, even if you're not trying to.
Well, this barman going barefoot doing, I can still talk with him, or he
Oh yeah,
don't
the
care.
barman comes. No, he went back, put the order in, and came back up front and started cleaning glasses again until somebody tells him that your food is ready. So
And
if you want to,
I would ask him, do you know anything about this book author, Theodore Zay? He wrote about this town in his book. So maybe you know anything also as bartender?
once again, I'm not even going to ask you to make the rule because you've learned to look out for it. You can tell everybody in the bar for a moment just sort of pauses at the mention of books and Zaid before the bartender seems to just unfreeze and just cleaning his glass. It's the same glass. He hasn't stopped cleaning the same glass since you came in. He says, I heard something about an author writing nonsense stories about that town, but he gestures kind of around, even though you're inside. He's inside. He says, if you look around, you can see there's not much to write about here. This
But
town
do
is
you
dying.
but do you know anything about being him in this town? We are looking for him because he's missing. So maybe he would be here, have house or something.
I don't know what to tell you. He does not live here that I know of. Nobody has come and to stay here for many years. This is not the place even an author would want to stay. There's barely any phone service, barely any power. The water is not good. We have troubles getting food at times. Uh, most of us would leave if we could, but we have nowhere to go, or we don't want to give up the land our fathers, 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 and fathers before them were buried on.
Yeah, but maybe you know where he could stay. It would be hotel or what place? Maybe a renting house.
I'm trying to tell you, uh, there's nothing to rent, and if he was here, he could just take one of the houses that are empty or one of the businesses that are empty and stay there. But I don't know how he would do his writing and stuff from here. We struggle most days just to keep going.
Also, I'm curious if this town is so dead, how these children are living here, where to go to school, or anything like that.
All of them are homeschooled. We do our best as, our parents did to teach them what we can, but and we give them the time we can for them to be children, but mostly we have kids so that there's somebody to look after us when we get old. And
But
because there's not a lot to do here except make children.
also, where is living houses? Like where empty houses and still living people? I'm asking because we see this town, but we see shops empty and places like that, but don't not houses.
The houses are set back from the town itself. This is in the trees. There are all sorts of clearings and little groups of houses. Some of them have people in them. Some of them don't anymore. That's we don't exactly have a census going annually or anything at this point. Food's up.
Alright, and I would take food and
He
bring
goes
to
back and gets it
table,
and sets it out.
and I would eat like nothing happened.
Okay. And he will put it out. He doesn't leave a ticket or anything. Or doesn't drop a bill, but he does say, "Enjoy the food and leave while you can."
Alright, thank you for tip. It was nice to chat, and then should we go eat?
Okay. And the food is not bad. You would expect it to be, like the fish and chips to taste like they have never heard of changing to grease. I think grease is probably older than some of the children in town, but it tastes freshly fried and very good.
I will
Same with
return, I will return to Barman and take salt on my trips.
yeah, there's salt. There are little salt and pepper shakers, and they've got some little condiment caddies, the little silver ones with you know, the the labels on some of the condiments, like the ketchup and mustard, are ones that you haven't seen for maybe a decade or more. Like really old style Heinz and A1 labels that you just can't find these days. But everything in them seems good, and it's unlikely that they're actually that old so much as they've just been keeping the bottles in good condition. But the burger is good. The vegetables on it are they're not like the wilted sad little pieces of lettuce or slimy tomato or anything. It's all actually surprisingly good food. The chowder is thick and rich and filling and flavorful in good ways.
Now, I'm curious if I pay using cards, these cards working since we had fun that we vanished. So I'm curious if paying cards works.
Well, paying with your card does work, but that's because in the 80s it was not a wired system. In the 80s here in America, he brings out this contraption where he puts down a piece of carbon paper, layered carbon paper, puts the card down on it, runs a bar across it to imprint the card information on the carbon paper, has you sign it, and then tears off one layer for you to take with you. You're muted, Kevin, if you're
Right. I
Right.
was curious.
But yeah, if they, the one thing to add to that, because I worked in retail at the time, if you think that they're a little sketchy, the Visa and MasterCard sent out a book every month with all the bad numbers in it. And you flip through the little book and look for their number. And if you
Yep.
found it, you were to cut up their card and chase them from your store forthwith.
I was curious because nowadays they would tell that it's not
Yeah.
available
Yeah.
anymore. This card.
The estate is no longer paying these bills. But yeah, it's a good idea,
Yep.
but it wouldn't have worked in the 80s.
Not in the 80s, nope.
After
Oh, go ahead.
after eating, I would come back to hotel, but then I would want to check those houses because I'm curious if this house where this key we found at house Zane will fit.
You can try and get to some of the houses. Many of them at this point only have walking trails. Some of them do have like maintained dirt driveways, as it were, but the key doesn't seem to fit any of the houses.
Juliet, I wondered because you haven't said much in a while. So
she's thinking. Because if she's gonna do the mental gymnastics of we're characters in the book, we need, and our goal in the book is to find Zane.
you're trying to second
Then
guess the
yeah,
author.
he has
Yep.
to
Yeah.
trying to predict where the author is going.
Yep. Looking for hints or
Because
key,
she's read
key
enough of the
places
book.
in this town. Yeah.
You would think
Mhm.
possibly like the best place for him to be as a fan of the books and his writing and everything would actually be the church.
The big one that we couldn't see, that she couldn't see this morning. That one.
Yes.
Now it is we return hotel and now we look at photos of doors and other stuff like I will put on bed everything and look at them and say, what do you want from us?
I'm
And if it's just the three of them, like in one of the hotel rooms, and they're talking, because I'm guessing this is what kind of happened. They went back and realized
In
So-
one of your two rooms, just because I want to keep Mike's rooms unknown until the last possible second. So.
yeah, it would be in Juliet's then. I feel like
That makes sense.
'Cause she has the
Top of
corner.
the stairs. Yeah.
yeah.
In the books, there's a church, except it's not here. And I don't know why there's now fireworks in the background of what I'm saying.
Most people just get a light bulb when they get an
And-
idea.
Yeah.
And if it was here, I'd say we go there, but it's not here. So we can't go there. But if this town doesn't exist or didn't exist, then maybe we just have to look for the church as well, since the town didn't exist until we looked for it.
Maybe this church was demolished over years. We should
where was
ask
it? Yeah, where was it?
the
Do you remember?
lady.
And she points out her window where it would be in the town.
Yeah, but maybe over years
But
And
they
yeah,
demolished it.
we look out and what's there? Is there?
And-
Can you see?
It looks out over the town, kind of back towards the road and the covered bridge and everything.
Is there
there's a
anything else around steeple or anything that's visible anywhere?
Not that you
Cut
can
off.
see from that window. There's another window in the room, however,
Yeah, corner room.
off
Yeah.
to the other side. It's fairly unobtrusive. The blinds were closed and not flapping. Very easy to have missed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's closed off, but it's another window in the room.
I'll go open it, and is the church out there suddenly?
The church is out there. The view
Yeah, she's
is
just
not
gonna-
one that you would have gotten from the town, not one you would have gotten easily. You can see like there's a large stand of old growth trees and such that
Yeah.
was making it difficult to see, but you can see it, and you can even see a little road.
Yeah. So his
leading to
story
it.
is Oh, I love it. Yep.
Yeah, so yeah, she's gonna take her glasses and chuck them across the room as hard as she can, and just be like, "It wasn't there until I said to go look for it. We're just characters in his fucking book."
And Sophie will dodge these glasses and say, why you throw this? No, you can see anything with it.
I'm gonna get my glasses back. Don't worry.
But they are broken.
No, surprisingly, they're not. Somehow they just bounced off the bed.
Ms. Morningstar, are you firmly convinced that we're characters in the book? Because if so, I have a question.
I don't know.
Okay, so if we are characters
I
in
have
the book,
no way of proving it or not proving it.
but either way, if we're characters, what we do is completely predestined, right?
I don't know.
Well, that's how books work, eh? They don't like the book knows how it ends before I start reading it, right?
Yes, but I'm not even sure anymore. What is going on? None of it makes sense. If I could prove that me hitting a man and him coming out from under the car like an accordion was normal, then maybe I could explain everything, but I can't explain this.
I can hardly explain Mondays, miss. I don't let him. Don't stop him from happening, eh? We gotta find this arsehole and go home. That's as simple as that, eh?
Exactly.
So, church it is, right?
I hope we can.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
church it
and-
is.
and Sophie is acting like nothing happened
Yep.
because she already accepted she's in book.
Yep.
And she will grab from Mike his candies, cookie packet,
Yep.
on the way down staircase.
Oh, geez, yeah. There's enough Werthers for everybody, eh?
I only want one, and she will grab and eat and go downstairs.
So I offer. In that case, I offer Juliet a Werthers. Seems like it's go time, eh?
Yeah, let's
Best
find
part
Mr.
about the
Zane.
Werther's original is that you can't go real quick, eh? So here, and together we won't go anywhere until that's done, eh?
All right.
And then
And
I take
she'll
out a
pop
piece of
it in
payment,
her mouth, and
And she
and I take out a
and-
piece of
and-
Beeman's gum.
and
I'm not having a
Sophie
Werther's.
also-
That's for when you're done. That's like the
And
cigar
that's
at the end of the show.
and also Sophie will but around and Mike grab axe just in case.
Well, me and Otis we're not going anywhere apart, eh?
Yeah,
And yeah,
but
he's still got his
uh,
backpack on, so yeah.
yeah, just I would say just grab in case because Sophie won't take her backpack. She only grab her Polaroid and dictaphone and flashback
Yeah,
Right. Well,
and gun and she
and a gun.
go.
Okay.
yeah.
So you finish your candies, troop downstairs, heading for the cars to go to the church, and um, that nice old lady is still there behind the counters, looking a little more tired, deeper circles, dark circles under her eyes. Where are you headed off to this late?
To
There's really not
church.
a lot to see at night. It can be very dangerous.
We are going to church just for praying
Doctor,
before sleep.
Nobody prays at that church, dearie.
We are very religious, so we need
And we
to.
also have candy, eh? And
Juliet.
I put 2 Werthers on the counter and push them towards her like they're a bribe.
Oh, and she immediately plucks one up. Oh, I haven't had these in forever. These are so good. Very much the old lady glee at
She's gonna
candy that should be in a dish.
she's gonna regret that when it sucks her dentures off of her gums, but never mind.
But that's not your problem. It might be her husband's benefit. You never know. So
So yeah, just to distract her so we can get out.
Yep.
It's a good
What's-
good cover story. Wish she wasn't buying it, so bribe her with candy.
you were saying Juliet was going to do something?
Juliet was just trying to motion to Dr. Jackson to stop talking.
Well,
But I wanted that.
But it was already done before she could do it.
Yeah, but also I wanted to act normal. Like we are so religious,
Yeah.
we need to pray before sleep.
well,
It's
you get down to the car and follow the road, and you can see the little turnoff that you need to get to that church now. It's
Also,
still a
But when I was telling I was very religious, I put hands together like to praying.
yeah. You pitched the whole
that did
story.
not help sell it at all, but I appreciate the attempt. Like I said, you get to the little turnoff. It's a bit of a drive through the forest, and this is old forest. These are the tall, tightly packed, old growth trees that seem, even now in the 80s, when man has taken over everything, to resent the intrusion of humanity, of its machines, of thought. This is not a place that welcomes outsiders. It is not a forest that welcomes strangers. It is a forest that holds its secrets dearly. Eventually, you pop out of the forest itself and you see the church in all of its dark grandeur. The spires on each corner, the tall towers, each still have those beautifully polished gold upside down onion style tops. The church itself is done in a very Baroque style. Lots of stained glass all over, small windows, big windows, and above the main huge double doors, like huge old oak double doors, is a depiction of angels fighting demons. Although Juliet, as the one who has read a lot of the books, that the real meaning behind it was uh, a higher power fighting off the elder things that once held dominion over the world. The wicked, evil beyond the reckonings of the darkest minds that were ever born. Evil that was not human and never had been, being driven down so that humanity could flourish. But it, at this point, has the Judeo-Christian stylings, you know, the angels with their wings and golden swords and the demons with horns and stuff, though you know that what the higher powers fought was far more horrible than some red dudes with horns and wings. You pull up to the front of the church. Go ahead.
She does fill in the other two about it.
And as you pull up to the front of the church, you hear behind you the sudden roaring of truck engines. And spilling out of the forest behind you are old battered trucks, the old short bed, much rounder sort of, you know, trucks from the 60s and 70s. Nothing like the, you know, built Ford tough stuff you see today. These were trucks that were made of step sides and made almost entirely of steel, meant to last. The kind of truck that if you gave them the right kind of care could go for, it felt like, almost ever. You see in the front truck of the half dozen that come pulling up, you see the bartender. Folks are hanging off the side, sitting in the beds with shotguns and torches, and they don't actually seem interested in you. In fact, they kind of go around you and encircle most of the front of the church, leaving a little space that it looks like you could probably get Sophie's car through if you were inclined to leave. People get out, they start yelling, but they don't get closer to the church. It's obvious that they're terrified, but they're also very angry. These are people who've been pushed to their limits. They've got the, you know, fisherman caps on and their heavy coats, and they're yelling and waving their weapons, and the bartender steps up and he fills his lungs and yells, "Zane, give them back! Give him back!" And the doors slam open. And there in the doorway is Theodore Zade. Smile on his face, his arms behind his back, looking out at everyone assembled as though it was just a great cosmic joke and he's the only one who actually knows the punchline.
And Sophie will say, Zane, you have no idea what went we through this whole thing. And she will try to go to him.
Mike's heading in that direction as well, and he is pulling out Otis. Not like openly as a weapon, but the axe is coming out.
And then
The
we
door slams shut.
Of
Get
course
out.
they do. Yep.
He
It's
says
on,
nothing
fuckers.
while you try and get close.
Yeah.
And then they slam open again, and you see a blonde, blue-eyed boy standing where he stood. And the bartender goes, Johnny boy, come quickly. But Johnny's eyes don't really seem to be seeing what's in front of him. He's staring ahead with the kind of 1,000-yard stare you would not expect to see on the face of a 7, maybe 8-year-old boy. And the doors slam again. And they open and it's Zaid and Johnny and Zaid and Johnny and Zaid.
And when they close it, Sophie will try to use key on doors.
You
Just
you don't get that close while this is happening. You're trying to get close. There's a lot of space.
Yeah.
And as you start to get close, you hear angry growling, the growls of a pissed off animal. And from around the edges of the church on both sides, flood Doberman pinchers. Lots of Doberman pinchers.
I will try to shoot one of them with my cloak.
I'm heading for the doors of the church.
A bunch of the dogs post up in front of the doors. The rest
Okay.
attack the villagers. They don't go right after
Oh,
you. So
okay.
give me a D10 roll if Sophie is going to try and shoot. And if Juliet is going to try and stop her from shooting, I'm going to need just a straight D10 roll from Juliet as well.
3.
Oh, that's a good one.
And 8. So they missed.
Yep. The shot missed and it goes wide because Juliet manages to grab the arm and kind of get the shot up there. And again, the dogs seem more intent on shepherding you all away from the door
Uh,
than they do on biting you, but the villagers are just getting mauled. They start running, some of them fall, they don't get up again. Others pile back into the trucks, and a much depleted mob peels out and drives away.
what do the dogs do then? Because you said they weren't bothering us. So now that their target is gone, are they just blocking the church?
They've got you mostly surrounded, but like the trucks, there's a gap between them where you could get in the car and leave. But otherwise, some of them start eating the fallen villagers
Yep.
right there in front of you.
I will
Some of
run away.
them, okay.
I will run away to car.
Yep. I'm heading to the car, but I'm heading to the driver's seat. Mike hasn't driven yet, and that's where I'm heading.
Okay. Juliet?
Yeah, this might be her last scene, y'all.
Yep. Oh, Mike too. So yeah,
Um,
Mike might be about to kill all of us. So yeah.
She's putting her hands up in a non-aggressive stance and just, Mr. Zane, my name is Juliet Morningstar. I've only come to talk to you, sir, and just make sure that you are okay and that we can get your book back for publishing. That's it.
The dogs form a little bubble around you. They start barking and snarling at Mike and Dr. Sophie in the car, but they sort of ferry you to the doors that crack open and wait.
She looks back at Mike and Sophie, waves, because she doesn't know if she's coming back, and walks inside.
And the doors close. And we'll get to that. Mike and Dr. Sophie.
Yeah, I'm driving. I get in the car, start it up, I watch that. I look over at Dr. Sophie and say, "How long do you think it'd take her to get away from the doors?" And I pull the car down in the drive with my foot on the brake. You think she's
No.
moved by now?
No, the better we run away until we can. I just feel like these dogs and villagers, I have enough of that. And I feel like these doors won't open for us because we tried to go and I feel like still they will close it and only we die in car. Better we try run away from this town.
Put it in park. Look at her. Well, you're driving on your own, eh? Because I'm going in. And I open the driver's side door, grab my pack, step out, look at the dogs, and you buggers are going to have nothing to say about it. And I got Otis in my hand, and I'm just trying. My plan is to walk to the door unless the Dobermans jump me.
And I will very fast back around the car and try to run away from town.
Okay. Once again, the dogs form a bubble around you, Mike.
Yeah.
They growl a little bit, but mostly kind of in a all right, we'll get going sort of way. They form the bubble. You get up to the doors crack open. There's no sign of Zaid, no sign of Sophie, just the inside of a church done in black and white marble. Or no sign of Juliet, sorry.
Yeah.
Just the inside of a church done in black and white marble.
Forgive me, Father, for I have fucking sinned. And I walk in the door. He
The doors
crosses
slam.
himself on the
Yep.
way in, yeah.
And even though there's nobody around to hear it, there's a little voice that says, I know. And we'll get to that. Dr. Sophie, you managed to pull around and you're, stepping on the gas and hauling ass and you're trying to get back to the covered bridge and out of town. Is that what I'm
Yes.
okay? So you pull through town and you see a bunch of trucks parked in front of the trucks you'd seen earlier, parked in front of the bar as you go past. You see wounded people being treated, some bodies being covered. It's a very somber affair. These are some vicious wounds. As you get through town, you go up past the hotel, you hit the little pseudo roundabout, you hit the covered bridge, you are driving as fast as you can, possibly a little faster than you should be on a covered bridge. And then there's the sound of thunder and a flash. And all of a sudden you are hauling ass back into town.
And with pause. Car with big sound, like and pause this car and take a deep breath and close eyes and say, Zane, what do you want from me?
There's no answer. But night is falling. The sun is setting, and the villagers outside, the townsfolk outside, you can see the wounded ones are starting to act a little twitchy. Like they are starting to push each other and snarl at each other and fight each other.
And I will just observe everything, thinking what to do.
All right. You see some villagers begin to like they notice the car for the first time, and they pick up pipes and axes and pitchforks, and they start heading towards the car.
I
Go ahead.
will pull out Glock, but at the same time I will return to church because I feel like if I can run away, then I need to go to church.
Okay.
But also, but
If I can't run
also,
away from my problems, I guess I'll go to
Yeah,
church. That's a
and
lesson to be
also,
learned.
and also, and also, if someone try to hit my car, I will shoot as protection, self-protection.
Yep. You see the bartender looking very, very wounded, carrying a big pipe wrench. And he looks at you in the car and he sees the gun. And it's almost as though he's fighting himself as he raises the pipe wrench. And before he swings, he looks you right in the eye and says, I'm sorry. I have no choice. This is how he wrote us. And he swings.
I will shoot his hand so he can have pipe wrench.
All right. Yep, give me the roll. What'd you get? The 2?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, you sharpshoot it this time. You blast him in the wrist and he holds, kind of holds the arm for a moment, and it seems like clarity reaches his eyes for a moment, and then everybody rushes the car. And that's where we're going to pause for you for the moment. Juliet, you saw the same thing that Mike did when you stepped in. An empty, receiving area for the church. Black and white marble. You see a baptismal font, even there at the entrance, running with what appears to be water. It's probably water. There are confessionals a little deeper in, doors leading into the church proper, doors leading off into other wings. And it's the door for a petitioner when they're confessing that opens for you.
Yeah, she'll go in.
Time with a book.
It's that time of the book. It's that time of the book.
When you're at the movies and you're looking at it, it's like, yeah, 93 minutes. Here we go.
The separator slides open, and through the wicket, through the wicker, you can see the profile of Zaid. He's smiling. He says, "I'm glad you've come to me at last."
Isn't this how it always was supposed to end?
This isn't the ending. You haven't read it yet.
No, but either we get the manuscript and go back, or, as in your stories, one goes insane and everyone dies.
Have I grown that predictable?
I mean, that is how each of your books have ended.
I'm glad you've come and speak to me. This has been a long time in coming. I needed to hear the critique of a true fan, someone who believes. Because that's what it's all about, you know. Belief. And Mike, you're hearing the voice now. You can hear talking from the confessionals, but you can't, like, they don't open. And
Yep.
Juliet, you
Oh,
can't
yeah.
hear him inside it.
Q action figure. I listen. Can I tell who's in which one? Like, I know I can't get him, but can I tell which one Juliet's in and which one Zane is in?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that you can definitely.
Oh. I take the axe to Juliet's door. To
Okay.
figure out which one I was going after, whether I wanted to save her or hurt him worse, and I decided I wanted to save Juliet worse than I wanted to hurt Zane. So yeah,
Good.
I'm going to attempt to take Otis to the confessional door. I'm coming, eh? That's all you get. I'm coming,
Yep.
eh?
And you start hacking away. The wood
Oh.
is remarkably resilient,
Oh
but
yes,
it's
yeah.
not like the axe
Much
is
like a door.
bouncing off.
Yeah, much like a door in a certain hotel.
Yep.
Here's Mikey.
While you're working on cutting through, Zane keeps talking.
Yep.
Because of course he does. He says, "When my wife and son died, I thought that I had done that. I really did. I was so angry. I wrote about them being taken from this earth because they were being taken, they were leaving me. But I didn't have that power. Not then. It wasn't until the typewriter reached me. It wasn't until they reached me that I knew the truth. You just need enough belief. The God of the go ahead.
I stopped chopping just long enough to look over at the confessional door and say in complete disbelief, "So you rewrote Pet Cemetery as a fucking answer, eh?" And I go back to
Well,
chopping on her door. Try to get her out.
there's a laugh. Just everybody's a critic.
Oh yeah, it was
Even the
designed. It
ones
was
who've never
intended as a
read my
cheap
books.
shot. Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
They showed me the truth. That this world is pale, empty, and flawed. That the gods of this world, and you can hear the air quotes clang into place at that, they left it long ago. The ones who were holding the doors closed, they got tired of it. They got tired of humanity. And so there's room. Room for the old ones to come back. To take over this world and remake it into what it always should have been. I regret writing Adam into being. Because what I wrote is not what my son could have been. But it's better this way. It's much, much better this way. And it's almost time. Let me show you something. And Mike, your axe cracks through the door and you just pitch forward as though you're falling into the depths. And Juliet, for you, it's more like there's just a wash of gray across your vision, and you are both somewhere deep under the church now. You can tell it's got that sort of dampness to it. There are columns carved with hideous images of Stygian beings and things that have never, to your knowledge, existed in this world. You see Zaid sitting at a desk with a typewriter beside him, typing away. Back behind him and slightly to the right, there is an enormous banded wooden door.
But who have key?
That's a good question. The door is bulging in places, almost rhythmically. Pressure here, pressure here, pressure here. Blood is running down the door from the cracks between the planks that make it up. There are sounds just at the edge of hearing that come from mouths that you could not even begin to comprehend. There's a sense of seeing something that's more real than you are, as though we could pluck a cartoon character out of their cartoon, bring them into the real world, and let them comprehend how limited their existence is. For the two of you, he gestures. He's like, I've just finished. Don't you want to see the end? Don't you need to
I need
know?
to let Juliet go first. I want the fangirl to have her say first.
Yeah, she absolutely moves forward in almost a trance. Because she has now accepted that, oh, he was telling the truth. And oh my god. She absolutely comes forward and to look at the book, but she turns to Zane and just,
How can I best help you, sir?
Just stand here for a moment and read.
Mike takes
and
Otis.
yes,
Oh,
she
go ahead.
does.
Yeah, you do that. Okay.
Yeah, she
Mike's
does.
takes Otis in both hands and starts walking towards the big door, looking at Zaid. You forgot, eh? Oh, shit, I went French Canadian there. Oh, geez, you forgot, eh? You had a choice. You chose subservience, you little prick. And I know one thing about authors. You're vain as fuck, eh? You know what no author ever does? A self-insert and then kills themselves. So fuck you. And I start to take the axe to the door. I want to let the monster out. We're all
right.
gonna die, but I want to let the monster out.
You haul back the axe
Yeah.
and you bring it swinging forward, and
Bye.
there's a stutter just for a moment,
Yeah.
and your axe slams into Zaid's face.
Yep.
You're there,
Fair. Yep. I don't
and
even try to
he's
pull
there,
it back. Yep.
and he smiles while the blood pours down, and he says, "I'm really proud of you, Mike. I knew you wouldn't let me down."
Push it
And
further in.
yep,
I'm looking at, I mean, it's mentally impossible, but we're in where we are. Mike's gone. He's looking to cut him in half. Right now, he's just like a tough piece of cheese that is resisting.
yep.
Yeah.
And he pushes the axe down, and the skin splits
Yep.
like the skin of an orange, and something inside, tentacles and teeth and eyes, wrap around Mike, draw him in. There's a very horrible organic sound.
Yep.
Dr. Sophie, you,
I return to church.
yep, you make it to the church. Despite the rush, despite the way the world seems to be warping around you, you make it to the church. And like the other two, the door opens just slightly when you get there. But for you, it opens directly into the basement, to the room beneath. And you see Zaid sitting behind his desk again with a odd thin crease running from about here up to his head. You see Juliet staring at pages. Zaid looks up and he says, "And here we are, the final girl."
What have I missed? And she will look at smiling.
What have you missed? Why, everybody is playing their part, of course. Juliet gets to see how it ends. And Juliet, you've read the ending. You know how it happens, but you can't articulate it. This is not like his other books. You know your part to play as well. And he stands up and you hug Zaid and he hugs you back. And again, there's that horrible organic noise, that sound of meat and gristle. And
The
Juliet is
last
gone. Oh, go ahead.
the last thing she says is,
Thank you, sir.
Good girl. And then he gestures to the door. Dr. Sophie.
You took the
"Colt.
pill.
She ended
You
up in the
took the
cult. She ended
pill."
up in the cult."
Yep. This is Dr. Sophie. You have a key. What are you going to
Yeah.
do with it?
And she will go to open. And before she push door, she ask, why there's no other option? Like, why I can't return to my life and to like was before? And she will look at saying,
Why? Because that's not how it ends. You've played your part beautifully. You're exactly what I needed. And now, it's time to close the book.
And she will say, I hope that any readers this book will love my character. And she go.
She unlocks the door, and it
Yeah.
doesn't so much swing open as fall apart, torn apart like it is paper. In fact, it is paper in a way. The edges of the door peel back. There's letters on the other side, words, concepts. And coming up from the depths, from the darkness that this door reveals, is a monstrous reality that defies description. Things with more dimensions, more angles, more everything than the thinking meat that conquered the planet has ever had. There are screams and sounds that no mind could hope to hear and stay unfractured. They rush up, they rush over, and Dr. Sophie knows no more. For about 5 seconds, there's a flash of light, and Dr. Sophie is standing before Theodore Zaid in a bookstore, being handed a copy of The Printer's Devil, first edition, with a signature inside saying, "To my #1 fan, Dr. Sophie Jackson." And he smiles up at her, even as outside the store you hear screaming and fire and terror and the sounds of civilization collapsing. And he just says, "You know what? I think that was my best work yet." End scene.
And she will say, thank you for being part of it.
Wow.
And that is the
Spectacular.
end of the Printer's Devil. Sorry.
Absolutely
Great
amazing.
game.
Spectacular. Well done. That was world class stuff. Thank you. That was an honor to be part of.
And I was
Great game.
thrilled to have you all here with me. Thank you for helping bring it all to life in such a
Yes.
wonderful way. I couldn't have done it without you all.
I love being a useless hero. That's my favorite kind of hero. Is like you do everything right and you still lose. It's like, yes, thank you.
And I love great stories.
Yep.
Yep.
And the twist on the twist, everything was a twist for 3 whole sessions. Every scene was a twist on a classic trope. So well done.
Thank you. If you want to know the movie that originally sort of inspired, so that I took some beats and such from, the sort of original concept that is In the Mouth of Madness. It's a book. It's a movie from the '80s. One of my favorite horror movies. It didn't age perfectly, but
Someone almost spoiled it to me.
Yep.
Well, they
I
did. They flat
remember.
out spoiled it, and luckily we caught it. So yeah, that's a funny side story to this story. Is it almost got spoiled? There was
Yep.
no intent. It was just a guess. It was
Yeah.
just a very accurate guess very early. So
Yep. Well, it's a movie that's always stuck with me. So when I was like,
Yep.
I want to do a horror story, I was like, all right, so I like the concept, but I really have to make it my own.
Oh yeah, that was spectacular. I enjoyed every second of it.
Yep.
Oh, good.
But with that, please do the honors.
Yep. Well,
You
I want to
earned
thank
them, man.
everybody in chat for sitting along with us and enjoying the story and making their additions. If you got this far on YouTube, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe button. We have sessions coming out all the time. A lot of different great games, a lot of great systems, a lot of great players. Sometimes you have to put up with me, but besides that, we're going to close this out the same way we do every day, effectively at this point, or nearly every day. Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah, Sarah.
I am going to say this first. because this is not something that we do often on this channel. We don't thank our DMs enough. So thank you for running this game back, Kyle. As someone else who does horror and is doing horror currently on the channel, I will not lie that you have inspired me to put more elements into my game. So thank you so much for running this
that's
game for
wonderful.
us, because
And
it was incredible.
and inspired me to putting more stuff in story. My
And
books.
I've read those stories, and yes, there is an absolute there's a feel. There's a yeah. So
So
you inspired all of us.
yeah,
Good, thank you. I'm trying really hard just to take the compliments and not
Yeah,
deflect or anything, so I need you to be proud of me for that.
Yeah, I am.
Yay.
Yes.
Yep. But I can't look forward to what you guys do in the future, and new games. And I think we have a game coming up for Mondays again soon. Is it Fox's game, or do we have
There
something else?
something will be on Mondays. If nothing else, I'm percolating another idea. So there will be something on Mondays soon-ish. I want to get the Friday game off the ground first, but
Okay.
Yeah.
Well then, we will go ahead and we will finish things out the way we always do here at Dirty 20. The world is a dark and scary place right now, so no matter what, be kind to each other. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to other people. If you have the energy, be really nice. Reach out a hand and support folks. But if nothing else, don't add more bad to the world. Just a simple smile and a little compliment or something can make somebody's entire day, week, month.
yes.
Thank you again for being here with all of us in the best community I have found on the internet. And good night.
bye.
Good night, everybody.
Night, y'all.